Chad Lang here. So this is old news. It's a couple of years old now. But the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints got fined $5 million for its scandal in not correctly reporting the money it was making off of investing and using shell companies to hide its wealth and invest in and not reporting it to the IRS. And this has been going on. We've known about this for a bunch of years now. And they were found guilty in a court of law. And Ensign Peaks was fined $5 million. And out of that $5 million, I believe it was $1 million that the first presidency was fined for illegally not reporting correctly to the IRS. So, my question is does the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints live up to the standards set forth in the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants as pertaining to what the one true church should be doing? Does it live up to its own claims and its own standards? And my answer is going to be no. And so I'm going to read from 2 Nephi 26, verse 29. It says, He commandeth that there shall be no priestcrafts, for behold, priestcrafts are that men preach and set themselves up for a light unto the world, that they may get gain and praise of the world, but they seek not the welfare of Zion. So, who's setting themselves up as a light unto the world to get gain? When you're the richest church in the world, you have, I think last time I looked on Google, it was $256 billion. You're richer than the Catholic Church. And you have been found guilty in a court of law of largely hiding that wealth. And you're hoarding that wealth. You're taking tithing, the members' tithing. You're taking the surplus and you're investing it like a business, like a corporation. And you're using dummy companies to not file your taxes properly and tax dodge, basically. And there's several Good Mormonism Live episodes where they go into the details on that. I don't have all the facts straight, but I've watched those episodes, and I encourage you, the members, to look them up. Who's setting themselves up as a light unto the world to get gain? The LDS Church. So, from that scripture that we read, the LDS Church does not measure up. You know, this is what the church accuses all other churches of doing, is setting themselves up as light unto the world in order to get gain, or at least that's what I was taught when I was growing up as a teenager in the church. Although now its PR stance seems to be a lot more neutral in that regard. I also want to read from the Doctrine and Covenants, and unfortunately I can only get page 219 is the reference. Let no man break the laws of the land, for he that keepeth the laws of God hath no need to break the laws of the land. Wherefore be subject to the powers that be, until he reigns, whose right is to reign, and subdues all enemies under his feet. Behold, the laws which ye have received from my hand are the laws of the church, and in this light ye shall hold them forth. Behold, here is wisdom. So, the church broke the laws of the land when it did not file its wealth to the IRS properly. It got found guilty in a court of law, and it got fined for it. And really, $5 million is peanuts, considering the vast amount of wealth that it's hoarding. The church did not obey the laws of the land. When you go to your temple recommend interview, it is asked, are you honest in your dealings with your fellow men? Well, now you, as the member, have the right to turn that around back onto the bishop. And this is what I would ask him. Does the church Is the church honest in all its dealings with its fellow men, with its fellow man, when it got fined $5 million for this tax scandal? Do you, as an institution, even have the right to ask me that question when you can't live up to it yourselves? So, my next question is the church above reproach? Is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints above reproach because we, the members, think and feel very strongly that it is the one true church and the only institution given under heaven by which man can be saved? And in order to get into that, I want to read Lifton's 8 points in thought control. Actually, I can't get the thought reform and the psychology of totalism. So I need to scroll down to the Wikipedia page here. Okay. Sorry about that. I wasn't prepared here. And main points. Okay, point 5, sacred science. The group's doctrine or ideology is considered the ultimate truth, beyond all questioning or dispute. Truth is not to be found outside the group. The leader, as the spokesperson for God or all humanity, is likewise above criticism. Is the LDS Church above criticism, above reproach, and are its leaders above criticism and reproach because you believe that it is the one true church, the only institution given under heaven by which men can be saved? And my answer to that question is now you're heading into cult territory when you start thinking this way. When you think that your church is beyond criticism and reproach, and even though it broke the law when it got itself involved in this SEC scandal, you still think it's the truth church, you're still devoted to it, you're still loyal to it, and you're still answering that temple interview question, yes, I am honest in my dealings with my fellow man. Is your church honest in its dealings with your fellow man? And the answer is no. So, that is what I want Latter-day Saints to think about. And of course, defending Latter-day Saints are going to think that I'm the worst person ever and the reincarnation of the Antichrist for even calling any of this into doubt or into question. So I just want to leave you with that. Think about it. And your church sets itself up as a light unto the world in order to get gain. And it cannot follow its own scriptures in what it demands of its people. You have to follow that as the member, but the church does not have to follow that as an organization. It's above the statutes that the Book of Mormon sets forth. So, just think about that. I'm Chad Lang. Enjoy your church.